Stop letting fear of change control your life. The very things that are blocking your flow and keeping you stuck are the same things that you're running from. It's time to face your demons. Let's get it. Yo, what up, family? Good morning to all you beautiful, brilliant, abundantly blessed beings, and welcome back to yet another present moment. Yes, this is the Ace Anderson Show, where we connect every Monday morning to provide you with weekly inspirational and entrepreneurial tips and tricks to help you ace your life. So congratulate yourself for making it to yet another beautiful dawn with me, your dedicated guide on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you don't know by now, I am an actor, a rapper, a filmmaker, a poet, the ace of all trades, the modern Renaissance man, Ace Anderson, and I am so happy to be here with you all for another blessed and abundant week. Now, as we embrace this first light together, I want to extend a special shout out to all you early risers joining in live. It is your dedication to starting the week and the day with intention and positivity that makes the A-Team extraordinary. So grab your favorite morning brew. Y'all know I like to drink alkaline water. And let's explore, illuminate, and inspire ourselves to be better with mindful conversation. Now, today I'm going to be discussing going with the flow. You know, a lot of times I talk about aligning yourself, aligning your hearts with truth, trust, and patience, and keeping it real and saucy. But, you know, it's like, what exactly does that even mean? You know, what does it mean to align your heart with truth, trust, and patience? And what does it mean to go with the flow? You know, it's like going with the flow is something about like following your impulses. Don't let your impulses stop you from don't stop your own flow by stopping your impulses. So we're going to talk about going with the flow today, and let me know if you have any thoughts about, you know, what I'm sharing and some insights, because I love when you guys share your own insights. But as we embark on this week's adventure, let us always remember to align our hearts with the fruit of the Spirit. And if you don't know what those are, they are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Let us trust these divine 9 to guide us on the path of self-discovery and growth, right? And to align with our most deeply authentic desires. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the trap of avoidance. You know, a lot of times we avoid a lot of things, man. You know, we end up we put it in our way, and we don't go with the flow. And so, you know, the trap of avoidance, you know, you ever notice how the minute things get tough, we often stop. Right? We freeze, we run, we make excuses. It's like our brain goes into autopilot mode that says, hey, you know, this is too uncomfortable, let's just not, right? But here's the reality. The very thing that you're avoiding is typically the key to unlocking your next level. So you're literally stopping yourself from unlocking that next level. The very thing that you're running from is the thing that can set you free, right? Now, we got to get real for a second. We all have demons, right? And no, I'm not talking about the ones that show up in horror movies. And like, yeah, there's some sort of reality to that. It's not necessarily as illustrious as they are in these movies. But, you know, when I'm talking about demons, I'm talking about the fears, the self-doubt, the voices in your head that say, you know, you're not good enough. Don't try. You'll fail. Fear is the number one blocker of flow. It's what keeps us stuck in one place, spinning our wheels, but going nowhere. What are these demons? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, and let's not forget procrastination. Right? We procrastinate not because we're lazy, which we often blame it on laziness, but it's really because we're avoiding the discomfort of change. And it's interesting, the fear of rejection, because what happens is when we fear rejection, we imagine that it's inevitable for us to be rejected. So then we fulfill the prophecy by rejecting ourselves. Isn't that crazy? We often fear rejection. We fear failure. So we quit. And then we fulfill the prophecy that we were fearing, which makes the prophecy come true. We fulfill our own prophecy through our fear. Fear will give you what you fear if you let it. Fear will give you what you fear most. But here's the interesting idea about fear, right? The interesting fact about fear is that actually when it shows up, when fear actually shows up, at the beginning, it's there as a messenger. Fear is a messenger trying to bring you information that you need to know, you want to know. That's why fear is so persistent. Fear wants you to know, and you want to know. You've designed fear to tell you things that you need to know. And fear comes as a simple little friendly messenger to say, hey, take note of this thing. I have a message for you, right? And when you say, no, fear, fear comes knocking at your door, and you say, no, fear, I don't want anything to do with you. Go away. Fear's like, oh, man, I just wanted to share something with you that you asked me to share with you. And then it walks away. And it's like, you know what? I'll show her. I come back bigger and better and harder and faster and stronger. And it bangs on your door and it says, let me in. And it says, no. And you say, no, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to face you. I don't want to talk to you. And then guess what happens? It gets bigger and badder. And it says, I will puff and pluff and blow your house down. And that's literally what it does. It will, to get your attention. And you've designed it to do that because you want to know what fear is messaging you. You want to know the message that fear has. I learned an interesting thought about a nightmare, right? Like, words are so powerful. I learned this interesting idea about what a nightmare is. A nightmare is a dream, right? It's like a dream that you have that is typically scary. So it's a dream that you fear, right? But the fear is all in your mind. Nightmare, right? A female horse is a mare. So it's the dark horse that comes in the night to message you, to hand you a message, right? Fear is your nightmare, is your fear messenger, your horse messenger. And the only way to not let that messenger persist or run you away is to get on the horse, literally, in your dream. Get on the horse, ride that dream to wherever it's taking you until it sprouts wings and becomes the white-winged horse, Pegasus. Right? That is the purpose of a nightmare. And many of us fear our nightmares. Many of us run away from our nightmares. But the whole purpose of a nightmare, a female horse, a mare, is to get on it and ride it. But instead, we spend all of our time running from it. So the goal in your life should be getting on to that nightmare, mounting that nightmare and letting it take you wherever it's supposed to take you so you can learn whatever you have to learn. Because your biggest fear is that you will cease to exist. But here's the funny thing about that. You can never cease to exist because non-existence doesn't exist. Think about that. Non-existence, by definition, does not exist. So you can never not exist. Who you are will never not exist. So we constantly spend our lives afraid of non-existence, but it's not possible because non-existence doesn't exist. You are the creator of your reality. You are God. You are God in this flesh form. And you've designed this world that surrounds you. You've designed it to bring you messages. You've designed it to offer you suggestions and tools and tips and things to learn. You've designed it in this way. And we've become so overwhelmed by our own design that we run from our fears. We run from our worries. We run from our doubts. We run from our fear of rejection and failure. But the proper thing to do is to ride it to wherever it's going to take you, because you will only become stronger with whatever message that thing is trying to give you. Just open it. Open it. I want to remind you of 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Think about that. Power, love, self-control. You're equipped to face these demons, but first you have to acknowledge them. So let me ask you a real question. Have you ever found yourself sabotaging your own success? You've got everything set up, the opportunities are there, but you're frozen. You make excuses like, it's not the right time, or I'll just start tomorrow. That's resistance talking. It's your demon trying to keep you comfortable. It's the dark shadow side of yourself trying to keep you comfortable. This is good where I'm at. So we hide away from any type of risk. But we don't realize that not making a choice is a risk on its own. Right? Not making a choice is a risk on its own. Here's the catch. The comfort zone is a prison. Your comfort zone is a prison. They trick you into thinking you're safe when all you're really doing is just delaying the inevitable. You've designed your life to attract everything that is existing in your life to you. You've designed it that way. You have designed this life to be an attractor. That's what the law of attraction is. It is how our universe works. If you can understand gravity, you can understand the law of attraction. Everything will attract what is likened unto itself and repel what is unlikened to itself. This is how the entire universe works. This is how you work. You have attracted everything in your life that you need to be successful, to have everything that you desire. Like, we oftentimes try to separate wants and needs. but it's the same. Think about this. You are attracting everything in your life that you need in order to give you everything in your life that you desire. Why are you running away from it? Why are you holding on to things that are trying to leave you? Why are you holding on to thoughts? Why are you holding on to fears? Why are you holding on to feelings that make you feel bad? Why? Ask yourself, why are you doing this to yourself? Everything that you want in your life is on the other side of whatever it is that you're fearing. And so the main thing that you have to do is define what you are afraid of. Be honest with yourself. What is it that you are afraid of? What is it? And the biggest one is dying. Oh my God, I could die. Well, what if you do? You're not going to cease to exist. Because non-existence does not exist. Think about that. You can't not exist. Non-existence doesn't exist. Energy is never created or destroyed. Matter is never created or destroyed. It just transforms into something different. You will never not exist. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Everything that you desire coming true? What are you afraid of? These comfort zones are tricking you into thinking that you're safe when all you're doing is delaying the inevitable, the very thing that you want from happening. You are delaying it by running away from it, by running away from this thing. I don't want to do it. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Bro, stop making excuses. Stop it. The longer you stay stuck, the longer you let fear make decisions for you. And you lose control of your own life. And remember, the fruit of the Spirit, the fruit that guide your very soul. You remember what the last one is, but I'm going to say them all again. Love. Can't ever be without love. Can't ever be without joy. You can't ever be without peace. You can't ever be without patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Self-control. You always have self-control. You can always control yourself, which means you are always in control and you are always God, and you are always connected with God. You are always connected with the Spirit. And you are the creator of everything, so you never have loss of control because you are God. So stop giving other people or other things your control. Stop giving fear control over you. You make the decisions. You're in the comfort trap, and it's real. The comfort trap is real. Psychologists would tell you that resistance to change creates stress and anxiety. So it's not the change that creates stress and anxiety. It's your resistance to it. You have to go with the flow. 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 I'm just gonna just go with the flow. I'm gonna just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Hey, I'm going with the flow. Hey, I'm going with the flow. Go with the flow. Psychologists tell you that resistance to change creates stress and anxiety. You think that the change is what's going to create the stress and anxiety, but what's creating it is your resistance to it. Imagine being in a rushing river and you put your feet into the ground and you're just like, I'm not gonna move. All of that resistance, all of that water that's hitting you, that's trying to push you, it's like, yo, just let it free, bro. Let's go. Let's go. You gotta ride that wave. You got to ride that nightmare to wherever it's taking you. The more we resist, the heavier the baggage gets, and eventually it takes a toll on your mental health. You think you're saving yourself from discomfort, but really, you're just making it worse. Because we've all heard the phrase, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and Nietzsche nailed it with that one, right? What does not kill you makes it stronger, makes you stronger, and you can't be killed. You have created this reality. You have designed it in such a way that you can never cease to exist. You, the you that is you, you exist. And you can never not exist. Facing your challenges, embracing the discomfort, that's where real growth happens, okay? So here's the truth. You're not stuck. You're just scared. You're scared to change, scared to fail, scared to succeed. But fear isn't the enemy. Fear is your friend. Fear is trying to protect you. Fear is trying to give you a message to say, hey, look at this thing that you have created. Look at me. Deal with me. Don't just run from me every time I have a message for you. It's saying, hey, this is new, this is scary, right? But you got to be willing to go through that fear if you ever want to grow. Isaiah 41:10 says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. Look, if faith can overpower fear, imagine what happens when you stop avoiding what scares you and start facing it head on. Imagine what would your life look like? What would your life actually look like? Ask yourself that. So how do we face our demons? We can get practical for a second. It's not like there's some magical fix, but there is, right? But there are steps that you can take right now to start moving forward. One, you have to acknowledge your fear. You have to get clear on it. You have to admit what you're avoiding and stop sugarcoating it. Call it out. Because once you are able to call it out and you truly understand what it is that you are afraid of, when you can really look at it, right, then it will be in a form that you can actually manage and deal with. Because you're looking at it. You're seeing, oh, I can see all of its weaknesses. I can see all of its flaws. And as soon as it ceases to make sense. It's like, oh, I was looking at it this way because I wasn't even looking at it. That's the funny thing about it, man. I wasn't even looking at it. I just imagined how bad it was, so I didn't even want to look. How you expect to ever deal with anything like that? You have to look at it. Once you look at it, you can see it for all of its flaws, and you can see all the inconsistencies in your own logic. It's like, oh, wait, that wasn't as bad as it actually was. I could actually do that, and this was this, and this was that. Here are the weaknesses. Here are the puncture points. And you start poking holes in your fear once you start to acknowledge it. So you write it down, don't sugarcoat it, call it out. The first step, right? That's the first step into solving the problem, right? Is recognizing that it exists. All right. Number 2 is challenge your beliefs. Ask yourself, where's the proof that I'm going to fail? Where is the proof that I'm going to fail? Okay? Proof. I'm not talking about probability. I'm talking about proof. I am proven to fail. I will definitely fail. And what does failure even mean? What's the proof that this fear is even real? Most of the time, we're scared of things that haven't even happened yet. And so we cause ourselves to experience that thing twice. So you got to get clear on that. Number 3, take small steps. Right? You don't have to leap into the unknown, although that's the best way to that's the best way to do it. Just jump. Just do it. It's the best way to learn. But you could take small steps also. Right? You can start small. One step forward is still a step forward. You build momentum by taking action, not by waiting for the perfect moment. You have to take action in some way. I like to do like 10 minutes a day. If there's something that I was avoiding, I like to do 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day. I'm going to do this for 10 minutes. Whatever it is, I'm going to just work on it for 10 minutes. I could devote 10 minutes to something. Set a timer. Get your little Pomodoro timer. Set it for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then do it for 10 minutes. Just like, what am I going to do? Right? It just teaches you how to handle something bit by bit. 10 minutes a day. Small steps. Then the fourth thing you can do is use fear as your fuel. Right? Instead of running from fear, what if you leaned into it? What if you saw it as a sign that you're on the right path? Right? Change your perspective about it. Right? If fear is the thing that is now the thing that propels you into the future of your dreams. Right? Use it. It's a messenger. Use it. Ride it. Right? What if you saw it as a sign that you're on the right path? Fear is just energy, right? And it's up to you how you use it. Just like anything else. You've created it. 5, you can visualize your success. Close your eyes, right? Picture what life looks like on the other side of facing your demons. Is it freedom? Is it a new opportunity? Focus on the vision. Start to imagine success. Because your body doesn't know the difference between when you're practicing something in your mind, right? It doesn't know the difference versus when you're actually doing it in reality. Your mind treats it the same way. It still builds the same neurons. Carl Jung said it best. What you resist persists. What you resist persists. The longer you avoid what's holding you back, the more power it gains over you. But the moment you face it, it begins to lose its grip. Think of successful people that you admire, right? You think that they didn't have demons? I'm pretty sure that they did. They probably still do. The difference is that they've learned to face them. They've learned to face these demons. You don't take Oprah, for example. She faced rejection. She faced poverty. She faced judgment. But she didn't let that stop her. She kept moving forward. She step by step, fear by fear, until she became the media mogul that we all know today, right? Think about Elon Musk, right? He didn't just jump into Tesla or SpaceX with no fear. He probably still has fears. I'm sure he has lots of fears in which propel him to make the decisions that he makes today. because he goes through them. He faces them. He faced constant doubt from others and from himself, but he used that fear to push him forward. That's what it takes, facing your fear. Now let's bring it back to you. What demon are you avoiding? What fear is holding you back? Because here's the truth. Your demons are just roadblocks between you and your dreams. The longer you let them sit there, the longer you stay stuck. So today, I'm going to ask you to take just one step, just one. Identify the thing that you're avoiding and face it. Get a long, good look at it. It might not be easy, but I promise it will be worth it. Because your dreams, your desires, your goals, everything that you want in life is worth it. You are worth it. Remember, life's flow, it's not always going to be smooth, but it's always moving. The question is, are you moving with it or against it? Thank you all for joining me today. Just like that, we are wrapping up another powerful session here on Ace Anderson Live. Big love to each and every one of you who showed up and brought that energy this morning. Y'all know it's your insights, your stories, and your presence that fuels this community and pushes us all to grow in ways that we didn't even know that we could. I appreciate all of y'all who commented. That somebody saying that I'm a vegan, I didn't know you're a Christian. So much of the getting so much out of this, out of this live stream I've ever watched. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Took many notes. Appreciate y'all. Remember, we're here every Monday morning to bring that heat, challenge your perspectives, and kickstart your week with purpose. My goal here is to set the tone for your week with inspiration, with motivation, and a little bit of humor to keep things real and light. But if today's conversation got sparked something in you, whether it got you hyped, fired up, got you thinking, or just gave you something to chew on, don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you drop a comment once I post this live. Share this stream with somebody who needs it and let other folks in on the good stuff. Because y'all already know word of mouth is still the most powerful influencer, hands down. So keep Ace Boogie in your thoughts and prayers, and I promise I'll keep y'all in mind. And hey, don't forget to follow your boy on all social media platforms at Ace Shot That, because remember, we're on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Snapchat. We everywhere that you can get online. So we're keeping the A-team growing strong, and I want you to be a part of it every step of the way. Until next time, y'all, and as always, remember to align yourself with truth, trust, and patience, and I promise you will ace your life. Peace.